Today we are talking about the top 10 misconceptions of Findom. Roll the intro. We'll be right back.
Nothing in this world that I like more than checks. Money. All I really wanna see is the money. I don't really need a D, I need the money. All a bad bitch need is the money. I got bands in the coop.
I'm working on my death stare. Oh my God. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyway, hello Dom Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dom Diaries. Welcome back to my channel if you're subscribed. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. We're happy to have you. When I say we, I'm speaking of me, myself, and my Dom ego or alter ego. I don't know. It might be one and the same. Whatever. Anyway, I'm trying not to make it weird. If you don't know a lot about being a Findom, Findom, Findom. That's the money girls. The girls who like the cash, the cheddar, the bread, the cheese, all that. Like, they like to make it rain. If you don't know nothing about that, I got 10 misconceptions of what they might be. That's it. Can't really get into it because being a Findom is way harder than it sounds. It sounds very glamorous and glorious, and it is, but it is not an easy thing to do. See, look at God. Whew. My bad. I don't know what I said wrong. But we're going to get right into it. So, misconception number 1. Being a Findom, Findom, is just like having a sugar daddy that you don't have to have sex with. No, it's not. It's not. Because when you have a sugar daddy, as I said in a different video of mine, you're submissive. When you're a Findom, you are dominant. You rule these subs. You control these subs. You control their wallets, their minds, what they do, how they spend, and what they send you. And they need to know that. So it is nothing like just having a guy send you money just because, and then you don't do anything and he just fucks you. Now, once you get to that status, yes, it is just like that. But if you're just starting out, it is not like that at all. It's not like you're just going to be posting pictures of yourself and you're going to be like laid and slayed and cute and they just going to send you money. Some might, but you might only get $10 here or $50 there or $20 here. Like, yeah, it's not like having a sugar daddy at all because you're dominant. You're not submissive. Number 2. If a sub sends you big money, it's because you're just so sexy. True, yes and no. This is a misconception because for the most part, until you grow the status of just being like well known as a dominant, men aren't just going to be sending you like $1,000 just because you're sexy. When you are sent large amounts of money, it's because these subs have seen your work. They follow you. They've done their research on you, and they know just how dominant you are. And that's what attracts them to you more than your looks. It's not your looks. It's your dominance. It's how much you can stick your foot down their throat and then make them gag. I'm dead ass serious. Number 3. You don't have to actually talk to a sub. You're just rude to them. Not true. Like I said before, some men are just going to send you money just to send you money. I've had that happen to me where like guys just love to serve and they see you and they're just like in awe of your beauty and that you're a dom. new season, whatever the case, but they're not going to send you large amounts of money. Like, they're not going to send you 10 grand just because you're cute and you never speak to them. Most of the time when you get large sums of money like that, you have spoken to them, they are intimidated by you, and they really, really want to serve you. But it's not because you were just sitting around. Now, you might get a couple $100 once you grow the status of being a Findom just from someone, but you're not going to get these large amounts like $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10 from subs from not speaking to them. Also, you're probably rarely, until you grow the status, if you're new, you're rarely ever going to get like $100 from a sub without speaking to him. I have my subs trained to where I get them, they tribute, then they submit an application and tribute again, and then I just start slowly building them up to where, every time I do talk to them, they're sending me $100 or $200 whenever I speak to them. Granted, this is not every day. Like, remember, this is not one sub sending me $300 every day. It might be 2 subs on Monday that send me $200 each, or one might send me 50, the other one might send me 200. I might have 3 subs on Wednesday, and I might have them all send me $100 just because. Just depends on how I feel that day. But it's not because I'm not communicating with them. That's the biggest thing. I am communicating with them. Number 4, a real sub won't know if you're a true dom or Findom. Like, a fake sub might know this, or a new sub might not know this, like that you just started. But if this is a real sub that has been doing this for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, if he has been doing this and this is like his lifestyle, he will know if you are not a real Findom. Like, they can sniff that shit out. Remember, these are still people. They're into this fetish as much as you are. Just because they're subs doesn't mean they're stupid. You have to remember that. Like, they have brains. They're regular people. They just like to be dominated. They like to give their money to dominant women because it does something for them. That does not mean they're idiots. They will know if you're not a real Findom. Number 5. I call myself a Findom. That means I'm a Findom. I don't have to practice at it. Being a Findom is a lot of work. A lot of work. Like, yeah, you could open your Twitter page and say, I'm a bratty Findom. Fuck you, pay me. And boom, you're a Findom. That ain't how that works. Like, not shitting on anybody. Like, if that's what you want to do, cool. But remember, you have to practice this. Like, that's a craft. That is not something where you could just be like, oh, I know how to finesse money out of guys and blah, 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 blah. Nah, being a Findom is something completely different. There's an art to it, and you have to hone in on that. You can't just say, hey, I'm a Findom. This random boy sent me $20. So, now I'm the head bitch in charge of Findom. That ain't how it works, honey. Like, it's just not. Which is why I honestly, personally, I took Findom out of my bio. Not because I don't want to be a Findom. I have plenty of subs that come to me and they're like, I want you to be my Findom. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But this is me learning it. Just know that. Like, this is my beginning steps to learn it and hone in on that craft. I don't even put that in anything that I do. Like, I have guys ask for it, but I don't sit here and claim to be a Findom because it's a lot of work. Honestly, like, it's a lot of work. And right now, I only have time to, like, learn it. I don't really have time I just work too much. Like I said before, I work 12-hour days. I don't have a lot of time to spend learning that as well. So I learn it as I go. And I don't claim to be anybody's Findom. And some girls might look at you crazy and be like, oh my God, why didn't you do that? Like, okay, like, don't be mad, ho. Like, if that's what you want to do, you do it. That's just, like, something I'm going to add on later on. Like, right now, I have a focus, and it's not Findom. Because I get paid either way. So, number 6. It's an extension of 5. Being a Findom is just easy money. You don't actually have to, like, learn or hone a craft. False, false, false. Like, so false. Like I said before, this is a lot. It's a lot of work. I've had girls in chats, like girls that I follow, not just in chats, like doms that I follow, say like, hey, I'm quitting my vanilla job to only do this because it's that much work. So if you want to be and I think she's a Findom. I mean, she does a lot of stuff. Like, she has a few different fetishes, but that's just one example. But like I said, it's something that it's an actual job. It's not just saying you're a Findom, going on Twitter and writing a bunch of mean comments and mean posts and saying you're a Findom. It is not that easy. It's not easy money. And if you want to be sent $1,000, $10,000, shit, if you want to be sent $200, you're going to have to do some work. Because these men know. They're not idiots. They're just submissives. Number 7. It's just free money. Like, you're on Twitter, you're sending mean posts, guys start sending money, it's cool. You start, getting large sums. It's just free money. You don't have to pay taxes on it. Lies. If you open any of these sites, again, Clips for Sale, I'm on Clips, Mini Vids, you have to fill out a W-9, I think it is. You have to fill out a tax form. That should tell you something right there. If you start getting money on your PayPal, your Cash App, your Venmo, your Google Pay, if you start getting too much money, the IRS, and it's going into your bank account because that's the only place it goes if you have any of those accounts. Even if you just keep the cash card that those accounts supply, that is a paper trail tied to your name. The IRS is tied to your entire life. If you make too much money doing this, they're going to pull taxes out. Period. Point blank. Like, that's it. You're paying taxes. Remember, you're paying taxes on this money that you get. This is not free money. Because at the end of the day, if you make over a certain amount, it is considered your job. As I said before, being a Findom is basically like having a career. It is not just being on Twitter talking crazy to people getting money. They will take taxes, and if you don't pay your taxes, it's the IRS. They're going to come for you at the end of the day. So keep that in mind. Okay. Number 8. Once you get money from a sub, if you start getting large amounts of money from a sub, there is nothing to worry about. Being a Findom is a dangerous, dangerous game. Oh my God, that is so loud. Who's texting me? Oh. Being a Findom is a dangerous, dangerous game because it is a random person sending you money that can basically call fraud on you or basically say you stole from them or depending on how you sent it, if you're not safe, these people can get your real information. They might want to come find you. There are also fraud subs out there that prey on people, and you have to keep that in mind when you're doing this. Like, there's guys that have enough money to send you to take it back or just to send to you to like actually come and try and stalk you. There might be guys that just really, really are into you that much that they just want to stalk you. Like, you got to be careful. You have to be very careful doing this because these are transactions that are going through to your bank account, especially when they start becoming large transactions. If you don't want anybody to know your real name, like, you really have to think about what you want to do when you become a Findom. Because if you're like trying to get like 10 grand a pop from somebody from subs, you can't send that through PayPal. Can't send that through Cash App. I mean, you can, but they're gonna break it up. And when you start breaking up payments, you can only take so much a day. So you have to remember that too. Like, when they become big transactions, they have to be wired through your bank account from a bank account, and that's something to think about. Number 9. Big misconception about being a Findom. If you really out here trying to get some money, you can just keep being a Findom a secret from everyone you know. That's not true. If you blow up as a Findom, know that that shit's gonna leak into your vanilla life. Like, it's gonna leak. So if you really don't want anyone to know like what you're doing, if this is like your secret life and it's fun for you and you're just trying to have fun, keep that in mind. Like, if you're really trying to make a lot of money as a Findom, if you're just really, really trying to get it to where you're getting like $1,000 here, $1,000 there, like, keep it in mind, because once you start making a lot of money, like I said, in your bank account, your taxes, it just depends on how private you are and how private your vanilla life actually is. 9 times out of 10, it's going to get to the point, like, if you really want to be big in this, you're not going to have a lot of time. And there's not, like, you're going to have to be really, 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 really good at time management to keep things separate. To keep them separate, to say, hey, I only work these hours, which is totally fine. I think if you have, like, a night flirt and you, like, start with that and you time manage yourself on when you're going to be taking calls and blah, 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 that can be separate. I just had an idea. Because, funny story, real quick, short story. My friend wanted to use my phone one day, and I have like all my Findom stuff in my notes on my phone, on my main phone. I have 2 phones. I actually have a phone for Findom, but I also use it for like my vanilla job. So I didn't put the stuff on there because I didn't want to text it by accident. But in not doing that and putting it on my personal phone, my friend picked up my phone and went into my notes and basically saw all my stuff. Didn't say anything because she was like way too high and drunk. So I got lucky that day. But if I didn't want anyone to know about it, I would have got caught up just like that. So if you are trying to keep it a secret, be very careful, because being a Findom, or like a Findom that gets a lot of money, it's hard to keep that a secret. You're not really, unless you're like a master of disguise, you're not going to be able to keep it a secret. Okay, and last but not least, number 10. When the sub sends you money, like I said, some of these kind of sound like they could be redundant, but they're not. Once a sub sends you money, you don't have to do any work. Like, these men are sending you money for you to dominate them in a very specific way. So just know, like, okay, he's sending me this $1,000, but he also wants me to possibly blackmail him, make him do like a CEI or JLI. He might want a video of you, like, cursing him out. He might want a spit video, like any form of whatever the fetish is. Like, these things are variable, but just know that when this money is sent to you, you also have to send something back in return sometime. Sometime, not all the time, sometime. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people here, like, oh, a findom is just a girl that sits there and tweets mean things and men send them money and they don't do anything. Or a good sub sends without asking for nothing in return. Like, if he's your sub, sure, sometime. But the point of him or her being a sub is because they want you, the dominant, to dominate them. Not just like, oh, I'm going to send you all my money and I don't want you to do anything now. Does that happen? Yes. Like, girl, plenty of women have gotten trips funded, boobs funded, asses funded, like, just all kinds of stuff. Like, one woman got 42 grand transferred to her for a video chat that the guy didn't even show up to. Yes, that does happen, but that don't happen to her every day or every time. Most of the time, she's doing work. She's getting paid, but she's doing work. So, just keep that in mind when being a findom. Like, it is not all fun and games. It's not easy money. It's not just going on Twitter and making a page and saying, fuck you, pay me. Like, and then you get rained on with 10 grand. Like, that is not how it works. So, if you are a findom and you getting paid, comment below. If you a findom and you just started and you ain't getting paid, that's cool too. Comment below. Tell me your stories. Hit me up on Twitter. Tell me your stories. Like this video if you liked it. Fucking don't like the video if you don't like it. I don't fucking care. I care, but I don't. Subscribe, share, hit the bell for the notifications so you know anytime I post. Like I said, message me here, message me on Twitter. Let me know if there's something that I didn't hit in this video that you also want me to talk about as far as being a findom. And until next time, Domination. I will see you later. Bye.